Mike Edwards here again at Model Rail Scotland 2022 and at the remarkable Coeur Railway from the Perth Model Railway Club. I don't know where to start. It's a remarkable piece of work. Long, narrow, fascinating. Garth, I don't know where to start.
Well,
double O gauge track, but the rolling stock's different.
Yes. Technically, it's an O scale, narrow gauge, 2'6" layout, which in the States they call ON30, 2'6", which, as you say, runs O scale stock on track which happens to be HO dimensions, and the only difference in the track is that it's got it's basically uses the Pico narrow gauge track.
I'm going to start here because we're at this end. A riverboat, a tugboat, and a barge, which we see on ocean-going vessels all the time, which can take trains. But clearly, this depicts a river somewhere, presumably the United States or North America.
It is in the United States. It's actually located at an existing settlement on Lake Coeur, which is something like 30 miles long, with a number of inlets and so forth. But being 30 miles long, it causes quite a barrier to transportation, and hence the ferry arrangements to get over to the other side. It's actually not too far from Coeur City, which is now a city of something like 500,000 people.
And the cargo or the freight or whatever, we've got lumber, as the Americans would call it, we've got oil, we've got beers, happily. Talk us through the kind of trains that you're running here.
What I set out to do was to make as many sources of traffic as possible, because I like operating and I like to get as many sources of traffic as is possible. So starting from this end, we have a sawmill here, which has logs in and cut lumber coming out. We have the barge arrangement with the tug, which conveys whatever is necessary over to the other side of the lake. We like to keep it fairly busy.
Where did the idea come from for this particular location, name, type, style of layout?
We wanted it in the States. We wanted it to be called a railway rather than a railroad, because that might confuse people nicely. And we looked for something that had got a barge operation, or that a barge requirement was a reasonable thing. We have a coal loading operation down the far side, because kids of all ages like to see stuff going into wagons.
Garth, it's an absolutely beautiful layout. It's very unusual. I think it's unusual to me, and I like to see North American, Canadian depictions at a big show like this. So thank you very much indeed for your time. And that's all from Coeur for the moment. I'll be back very shortly with another layout from Model Rail Scotland 2022.